I'm live. I'm not sure how I got that done in that short period of time. I the computer crashed. I think it's been live for I don't know 12 how many hours something 24 hours I don't know. It seemed like it was still on. So the computer crashed. I had to reboot it. It said it didn't have it scheduled. So if you're here, great. If you didn't make it, well, I completely understand why. So yeah, that's what that happened with computer problems. And I'm fighting with the city. So I got a parking ticket, and the car was legally parked. I used the app, but because I got the new phone, I had put the last two numbers of the license plate in backwards. Instead of an 89, I put a 98. Easy mistake, right? So paid for parking, got a parking ticket. So I said, yo, I got a parking ticket and here's the receipt for paying. Here's the thing, blah, blah, blah. Denied. I'm like, what? I'm like, it's the correct car. The description of the car matches the description of the ticket. Yeah, it's correct. But the app said it's the same car, except for look, license plate, license plate, license plate, number, and the last two numbers are switched. So it's an easy mistake. Upheld. I'm like, no, I'm not going to pay a $30 ticket. This is ridiculous. So I appealed it. And I appealed it and they sent back, I sent a photograph. Look, it's the same car. I was legally parked. I was not, I paid to park there. I paid money. It's the correct car. It matches the description. It's, the color, the blah, 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 all that stuff, except the last two numbers are wrong. Upheld. I'm like, mother, sends me in writing. So now I'm like, no, I want a hearing because I want to talk to someone and hear the logic. Be like, so you're basically going to tell me that you're going to be, I mean, I already lost at this point. I'm going to be like, so you're going to be so petty? Is this what you're telling me that because it's the correct car, I paid for the spot, it was legally parked, and you're still going to make me pay $30? I mean, just ridiculous. I mean, talk about either no one's actually looking at it or they're really being that petty because $30 is $30 and they're going to steal $30 from me because, that's how it's going to be with his parking meters. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I want my pound of flesh. I want my day in court, damn it. I am not going to sit idly by. I will waste my time sending letters and returning and responding because it's $30, man. Right? I mean, would you? Would you actually do that too? Because I'm going to stand up for the little guy. I'm not going to get pushed around by City Hall, damn it. $30 is $30. Can you feel it? Can you feel me? Can you feel my angst? Happy October 28th. Welcome to Randsanity, episode 150. I got up way too damn early this morning. I got up at 6 a.m. I only got like 3 hours of sleep, so I am just running on fumes at this point. Wow. Just long day. I think I took a nap even. I think at some point I dozed off. Because it kind of was like, oh wait, did 20 minutes just go by? Was I sitting here? Yeah, I think I took a nap. A siesta. We'll call it a siesta because I don't think it was a nap. It was more a siesta. Just that little midday kind of, oh yeah, I'm refreshed now. I'm good to go. I'm having pen problems again too. I can't find a comfortable pen. I had what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages tonight. Oh man, I got a lot. I'll read fast. I'll try and keep it, under an hour. No, I won't make it that long. That would be, no one's going to stay. I'm lucky when you stayed 8 minutes. I look at the numbers. I'm like, oh yeah, someone's here for 8 minutes. Awesome. Money grubbing scum. Yes, I'm seriously $30. It's ridiculous. Been there, traffic enforcement in the city does not bother looking at the events that you present. They just want a clear case of the desk. That's why I want to get a hearing and be like, okay, I want you to look at me or talk to me on the phone and say, you're looking at the thing. Do you see the receipt, the photograph I sent of the receipt that it's paid? Do you see the car matches the description, the car and the car and the app and the app and the number and everything except for the last thing? Yeah, it's $30. I'm just not going to let it go. I'm that petty. You can call me Tom Petty because I am that. I'm Richard Petty. I'm a race car driver, rock singer. I am Mr. Petty. Oh, man. All right. So remember, there is no particular order to any of this. Oh, this is happening. Remember, this is happening this tomorrow or Thursday's the last day. So there's a lot of stuff up here. If you need some, hand sinks or let's see what else. You've got some bins and a scale. If you need to weigh some weed, it's $10 for that. So there's all sorts of stuff there, man. There's a giant stove for $100. I mean, that thing's worth probably thousands of dollars. But what am I gonna do with it? I don't know where to sell it individually. This is just saddening, maddening, depressing, all of it. But I have to be there. I don't have the ability to just let someone go into the building because the building's so damaged. I'm the only one who knows how to get into the damn thing in the first place anymore. So, except for the burglars, obviously, because they know how to get into anything at this point. Okay. Got a link? Yeah, you know what? That's what I want. I appealed. I got a hearing. They finally threw the case out. That's what I'm doing too. A link, Jill. You know what? Go to, it's Auction by Paul Delphia. Delphia. It's Auction by Delphia. Just Google Paul Delphia. You can't mix it. Current bids, current live auctions, or online auctions. You'll find it. Paul Delphia. Delphia. Paul Delphia. That's where it's at. Yeah. Look, there's some realization stuff. I might put some more stuff on tomorrow. I have to go down tomorrow again and deal with this guy and this crew. It's just kind of a nightmare. I'm just so ready for this to be done. It's just, yeah. It's really hard to explain. It really is. I can't even describe it at this point. Anyway, remember, there's no rhyme or reason. I'm going from decade to decade. Old rock stars, new rock stars, everything in between. And I add my little twist. So here it is. We'll start with 1971, and John Lennon and Yoko Ono and Yoko Ono's Plastic Band recorded the single Happy Christmas, The War Is Over in New York City. The choir is the Harlem Community Choir. It went to number 3 on the Christmas songs. It was on the charts in 1972. It went back in 1983. It went back in 1984. It went back in 1985. In 2022, it made it all the way to number 38, number 4 in the UK, and it made it to number 2 on December the 8th, 1980, the day that John Lennon was killed. Stayed there for 9 weeks on the chart after he was killed. So this is Christmas. What said it? Yeah, that song. You've heard it because everyone's heard it. It's been like on every radio station and everything somewhere for the past, I don't know, since it started in 71. It's been around for a minute. You've heard it. 1966, The Beatles. 1996. 96. Okay, remember the Beatles broke up in 1970. So I'm like, wait a second. They broke up in 70 and they're on the charts. The Beatles Anthology number 3 is released by Apple Records, a double CD triple LP, and the last of the 3-part series of the rare recordings outtakes by the Beatles, 68 to 70. It tops the U.S. charts and only rises to number 4 in the UK. So it tops the charts in 1996. Remember, the Beatles broke up in 70. 80, 96. That's 26 years later. They have the number 1 album. It's crazy to me that happens. But we'll have another one that's even longer since the musician died that made it to the top of the charts, which again just baffles me. But anyway, that's what happened with the Beatles again. The Beatles, they keep going, 1978, jumping backwards. I went and watched a little bit of it. If you want to see, it's just hilarious. The band Kiss premieres in a live action TV drama show. And it's their debut, and it's Kiss meets the Phantom of the Park. It's a TV film. It's just so, I mean, hey, we need to go get that guy. With ray guns and stuff. It's really bad. It's so bad. And like, they're still dressed as Kiss, and they've got like shirts off, and it's just, Kiss. They're not good actors in this. It's just funny. I'm better. I'm a better actor, okay? I promise. It's just hilarious. Just watch the trailer. The trailer alone was too much. It is absolutely 1978 TV without a doubt. I just, it's genius. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Is this still... Okay, so that's weird. My one computer completely just crapped out. So I'm watching everything on this screen. Okay, oh, scheisse. I have no idea what happened here. Okay, I guess I'm just not going to touch anything, so I think I'm still live at least. I don't know. I have no idea what I did. I absolutely have no idea. Is it? No, that's not even on. All right, so I don't know. All right, anyway, I'm just not going to touch a thing. Shit. And then 2001. On this date, the 28th of October, Donnie Darko, the indie cult film starring Jake Gyllenhaal, is released. Now, that has a really good... The soundtrack's weird, but it's the music that's in it. Okay? The songs that are in it are just so good. It's got, Tears for Fears, Mad World, and it's sung by Gary Jules. Okay? It's a cover of it. But it's got The Killing Moon by Echo and the Bunnymen, Head Over Heels by Tears for Fears, Notorious by Duran Duran, Stay by Oingo Boingo, Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division, The Church, Under the Milky Way, and In Excess, Never Tear Us Apart. So it's got such a great soundtrack. I was like, yeah. When I saw Donnie, I'm like, oh yeah, I got to talk about Donnie Darko. That was definitely a weird movie. I've seen it many times, but the soundtrack's so good. It's such a good soundtrack. So, if you just, sometimes watching a movie just because of the songs in the background sometimes make it, that's definitely one of the ones where the songs just make it. And you can remember some of the songs because where they fall into the movie, they're such a pivotal song for that set part in the movie. You can be like, oh yeah, that's perfect. It just works out really well. So, yeah, I love, yeah, it's a good one. Definitely a good movie. So if you've never seen Donnie Darko, I highly recommend just go find it and watch it. It's weird, but, what isn't these days, right? 1956, Elvis is still the king, and he makes his second appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show. Ed presents Elvis with the gold record for his song, Love Me Tender. 1 year hence, in 1957, after a show at the Pacific Auditorium in LA, local police, this is 1957, local police tell him, you're not allowed to wiggle on stage anymore, son. The cops tell him he cannot wiggle his hips on stage. I mean, how's this conversation go? Excuse me, Ellis, you cannot wiggle your hips on stage, son. He could not wiggle his hips on stage. The local press meaning the paper at that point, the headlines read, Elvis has to clean up his act. Bad Elvis shaking his hips like that. Whole lot of shaking going on. The following night, the Los Angeles Police Department Vice Squad film the entire concert so that they can, quote unquote, study his performance. Oh my God. I love some of these old rock and roll stories. That's like, really? Really? Okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to film you so we can study your behavior, Elvis. You're corrupting the mind of our youth. Just brilliant. I just love stuff like that. I really do. It's just so 1950s, right? I mean, that's just that. 1958, Buddy Holly appeared on Dick Clark's American Bandstand. He lip syncs. It's so easy. And Heartbeat. It is unfortunately Buddy Holly's last major TV appearance since he dies in February of the following year. 59, I believe, is when he died. Back to the Beatles, 1962. The Beatles played the Empire in Liverpool. It is the top theater, and this was their first big gig. There was 7 other artists on the headlining tour. I didn't list who they were because I didn't really care enough. I was like, there's enough stuff tonight. 1964, a 2-night concert billed as the Tammy Show, T-A-M-I. I don't know why. I didn't go look. Took place at the Civic Auditorium in Santa Monica, California, performing her Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, the Beach Boys, Chuck Berry, Marvin Gaye, the Supremes, and the Rolling Stones. I would have liked to have seen the Rolling Stones and the Beach Boys on the same bill. Chuck Berry as well. I mean, that sounds like that's a pretty damn good bill. I would like to see that. That definitely is a cool sounding festival to go to. You know, I would see that. Yes, indeed. 1967, Diana Ross and the Supremes, they got their greatest hits, started a 5-week #1 run, and their album U.S. Where did I screw up here somewhere? Oh, it's the greatest hits. That's their greatest hits album. I'm like, what? Anyway, it started a 5-week run at #1. The album covered featured the 3 original members, even though Florence Ballard, who sung on all the songs, was fired by the time the album was actually released, and because she was replaced by singer Cindy Birdsong. So it says Florence Ballard, but she's no longer in the band. But she still remained on the album, and she did all the singing for it. I don't know how that works. You still get the royalties. You're fired. You don't get royalties. What was the reason for the firing? I want to know. I didn't look. Couldn't find it. All that stuff. 1972, the United States Council for World Affairs. Do we still have that even? Does that exist? They announced it was adopting The Who's song, the band The Who, Joined Together, as the official theme song. I listened to the song. It's a happy, joyous song. Do we have happy, joyous songs happening in the government at the moment? I'm just wondering. I think no. So maybe it's still there. I don't know. I was interested to find out if A, the United States Council for World Affairs still happens, and B, if the song is still, in fact, joined together by The Who. I'm guessing at least one of 2 of those things does not exist anymore. 1972, Stevie Wonder's 15th album, Talking Book, the first track of it goes to #1. You Are the Sunshine of My Life. The Billboard chart earns him the #1 spot, as well as his first Grammy for the song. The album also featured Jeff Beck on the song Superstition, another #1 hit from that album. Stevie Wonder. It's a wonder. 1973, David Cassidy. Now, this is the same David Cassidy of the Partridge Family. I did have to go look and confirm this. He actually had 3 #1 singles in the UK. And on this day, his second one, Daydreamer, the Puppy Song, which I was like, what? I did listen. I'm like, what? The Puppy Song? That's next to the name of it? I'm like, okay, that's weak and weird. But it was actually Keith Partridge from the Partridge Family. That's actually who David Cassidy was. But this is his second #1 in the UK, and he actually had 3 total. I mean, it was a made-up band, but he actually did sing after, I guess, the first couple of episodes. They found he could actually sing. So he sang. And he actually put out a lot of music. Apparently, a lot of it was bad. He did not chart in the U.S. That's what's so funny. He was #1 in the UK, didn't even chart, not even 136. Nothing. So apparently we saw through that veil and that thin veneer of, no, you're a TV actor and you aren't really a singer. But the UK was fooled by that. Oh, we love them. We love that Partridge Family. Oh, 1974. Prayers for Jamaica. Jamaica reggae artist Ken Booth was #1 in the UK with Everything I Own. It was originally written and sung by David Gates of Bread in 1972. What's funny is, then again in 1987, our friend Boy George would once again take the single to be #1 in the UK. So it actually is sung by 3 different artists and twice made it to #1 on the UK singles chart. Many years apart, 74 to 87. Interesting. So just copy a song, play it, and, you know, they both sung it reggae-esque, except for Cream's wasn't as reggae-esque. So, Boy George sang it reggae-esque, and Ken Booth sung it reggae-esque because he was Jamaican, so that makes more sense. But yes, Jamaica, wow. Whew, man, that's an ass kicker of a hurricane, so. Prayers for Jamaica. 1978, Queen played their first date of their 79-date jazz tour. It started in Dallas Convention Center in Dallas, Texas, and the venue hosted many great artists, including the Beatles, Elvis, and Led Zeppelin. 1978, now this one was one of these interesting ones. Nick Gilder, who I had never heard of in my life, and I think this was a one-hit wonder, went to #1 on the U.S. singles chart with Hot Child in the City. I listened to the lyrics. It's a little creepy. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, some of these songs, you're just like, you listen to the lyrics, I'm like, okay. Not what I thought it was when I've heard it before. Because you think it's like, you know, summertime. No, it's not a summertime thing. It's just, no, it's, yeah. Anyway, Gilder came from the glam rock band Sweeney Todd, which later featured a very young Bryan Adams. If you remember Bryan Adams, Summer of '69 and Cuts Like a Knife. That Bryan Adams. But yeah, I was like, wait a second, glam rock band? Maybe, I don't know about Nick Gilder. I'm thinking, No, 1995, Coolio, rip Coolio, died in September of 22, September 28th of 22. That's when Coolio died. I always use the word Coolio. I do that in my text a lot. I'll be like, Coolio. I'm like, Coolio's no more. Totally forgot that. Anyway, Coolio featuring LV, I don't know who LV was, scored his first UK #1 with Gangsta Paradise. The song sampled choruses from the 1976 Stevie Wonder Pastime Paradise. It also starred in the movie 1995 movie Dangerous Minds with Michelle Pfeiffer. I did listen to Gangster Paradise a couple times today because I'm like, oh yeah, Coolio, Gangster Paradise. Right on. Bill Berry, the drummer for REM, announced on this day that he was leaving the band after 17 years to become a farmer. I know. It appears that in March 1st of 1995 in Lucerne, Switzerland, Berry collapsed on stage because he had a brain aneurysm. I remember that. I remember reading all about that. He did fully recover, but he stated that he no longer had the drive or the enjoyment level to remain active with the band. Bill Berry from REM. He did come back and play a couple of solo one-offs with them, but again, he's a gentleman farmer and enjoying that a lot more. Now, I did see the timer, so I am going to at least be smart to do this and say, look, you can look at me while I push the button, or I can even do this. I'm going to say, hey, look, here's auction items. You can go ahead and look at an auction item while I push the button. See, look, things you can figure out and maybe find something you like. Or if not, well, you know, you won't. I know. 2001, roll another blunt. That's how it starts. If you know what song starts with roll another blunt, You are a better man or woman than I. It took me a minute. I laughed, but I was like, Joseph Foreman started a 2-week run at number 1. We know him as Afro Man. It was number 1 on the UK chart with Because I Got High. Because I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high. I was gonna go pay the child support and then I got high. I wasn't gonna run the cops because I was high. Yeah, you gotta listen to it. It's definitely funny and worth a laugh and listening to it again. The song is about how cannabis use was degrading his quality of life. And apparently the song rose from complete obscurity to popularity because it was circulated on, of all places, the internet. And they didn't say it in 2001, but because it went viral. Yes, it was a viral sensation in 2001. And it got Afro Man, who was an obscure dude, fame and fortune, and a number 1 on the chart for Because I Got High. Oh, 2004, Crazy Is as Crazy Does. Our favorite crazy lady, Courtney Love, is remanded and she is ordered to stand trial on charges of assault with a deadly weapon. This all stems from an arrest that we talked about before that happened in April 25th of 2004, earlier in that year. Apparently, Courtney showed up at an ex-boyfriend's house in the wee hours of the morning, altered. She broke into the home of ex-boyfriend, and the girlfriend at the time, Kristen King, was sleeping on the couch. So apparently, she was, in King's words, erratic and vicious. She threw a bottle at her that broke. She then picked up and threw a lighted candle at her. She grabbed her, pulled her hair, and squeezed her left boob. Now, it's also, pinched her left boob because King stated it was the worst pinch I've ever had. I mean, that's a direct quote from her. It's the worst pinch I ever had. All right. So you got your boob pinched, apparently. After this, she fled her home. And when the police arrived, they found Courtney outside. And the police also noted she appeared to be on drugs when they arrested her. So, don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. Courtney Love. Always a good time. And if you don't remember, we banned Courtney Love after the death of Kurt Cobain from the radio station for decades. We wouldn't play her music. I thought it was just kind of funny. They were like, nope. Had we been around when Yoko Ono was there, we probably would have, played Yoko Ono songs after the breakup of the Beatles because of that. How petty. 2008, AC/DC Bon Scott received a statue outside of the Fremantle fishing harbor where he grew up. Even though he was born in Scotland, his family moved to Melbourne when he was 6, and then he moved to Fremantle when he was 10, and he remained there as a youth. Toured the world, did all this stuff, died, and when he was buried back in Fremantle, Australia. So that is where, if you want to go honor the gravesite of Bon Scott from AC/DC, you have to go all the way to Fremantle, Australia to find him. Well, that was very nice. So you can also find a statue at the Fremantle Fishing Boat Harbor, if you'd like to go see that. So you know. Oh, shitty people are shitty people. In 2011, organizers of Metallica's show in India were jailed after the show was canceled. Fans then destroyed the stage, vandalized the equipment, and made the show impossible to happen. Apparently, Metallica was supposed to play in Delhi. And on the day before, on the Friday night, during the rehearsal, a security barrier collapsed. And the whole front part of the stage collapsed. So the band postponed the show. Now, the 4 promoters then refused to refund money to the 25,000 plus tickets that were sold. So the police arrested them on fraud charges because they refused to refund the money. I mean, no, we're not giving the money back. It's ours. We sold the tickets. So what? They didn't play. That's not our fault. We had to do all the work. I mean, promoters be promoters. It would have been the first time Metallica played in India. I don't know if they ever did, but they did not on that night. 2013, 16-year-old Lorde topped the UK singles chart with Royals. At 16, making her the youngest female solo artist to do so. Not the youngest artist. There was a 15-year-old that did it, but it was not a female solo artist. She was actually signed to UMG when she was 13 years old, Universal Music Group. And how she got signed, I never knew this. Apparently, a friend's father sent home recordings of her to Universal Music Group where that's how they discovered her. That somebody's father, like a friend's father, said, oh my God, this talent of this girl, sent it in and got it in somebody's hands that found her to be a talent and got her signed at 13. I think she, like I said, I think when I met her, she was like 16 or 17 because her mom was with her and she was just like dialed in. She was a momager and a half. It was amazing. What a poised person though. You don't meet a lot of 16 or 17-year-olds that are that just together. She was, kind of born to be that. Interesting. Oasis weirdness. So, police in Manchester, this is 2014, police in Manchester, UK said an Oasis fan could have and possibly did break into and were responsible for the damage called to the Massa Gallery in Manchester when they stole a picture of the band Oasis. It was a black and white photograph of the band. So the police said maybe it was an Oasis fan and it could have been a fan that smashed the window out to steal the photograph. I mean, no, it was a hater. That's why they broke out the window and stole it. Like, come on, really? Elvis, 39 years dead, broke the record this is 2016, 39 years dead, breaks the record for the most #1 albums by a solo artist. I told you we were going to beat that record about going to #1. 39 years dead, and he still breaks the record for #1 solo artists. The Wonder of You album was released, and it beat Lady Gaga and Michael Bublé to become the 13th album to top the charts. Elvis. He had been tied with Madonna at 12 for the longest time, and this put him over the top. So I don't know if he's been beaten, but as of 2016, Elvis, 39 years dead, with his new album released, went to the top of the charts. I don't know how that works. I just don't get that part. How they can go to the top of the charts when they've been dead for 13. And it's new music? Not new music? What? Weird. 2022, The Killer. The rock and roll original wild man, Jerry Lee Lewis, dies at the age of 87. Woo! Worldwide hits. Whole lot of shaking going on. Great Balls of Fire. His career, though, was in fact marred by scandal throughout his entire career. At the age of 22, he married his 13-year-old cousin. He accidentally shot his bass player in 1976 with a .357 Magnum. He was arrested outside the home of Elvis Presley for drunken disorderly waving a gun around. And then he was almost jailed for tax evasion because he owed the IRS over $2 million in back taxes. Oh, Jerry Lee Lewis, the original bad boy rock star, died in 2022 at the age of 87 years old. Oh, man. That's a life. That's a life. Born on this day, Julia Roberts, 58. Joaquin Phoenix, 51. Charlie Daniels of the Charlie Daniels Band. I saw the name Jack Daniels last night and I was like, oh, wait, that's Charlie Daniels. And then tonight's his birthday. Very strange. I was like, oh, I manifested that to happen. So Charlie Daniels born today. Hank Member of The Shadows, which I've talked about a few times with the song Apache, which I actually listened to a couple times now. That was that #1 instrumental song from like 1962 or something. Dave Warndorf of Monster Magnet. He's from Red Bank, New Jersey. I had no idea. And Steve Morris of Joy Division, born on this day. And besides the death of Jerry Lee Lewis, the only person I found of any note, death by misadventure, Matthew Perry, died of ketamine. So again, you're in a hot tub, you're taking ketamine, I'm going to give you a death by misadventure. Okay, remember that's my new catch-all, death by misadventure. Matthew Perry on this date. Don't die of misadventure, or die of misadventure, because at least that's something fun you can put on your tombstone, as opposed to, you died as like a cheese-eating high school boy of an overdose. No, that's bad. Bad. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. I'm telling you. I forget, did that chick get arrested and jailed for selling him the ketamine? I know something happened recently with her. There was something in the news not too long ago. Anyway, who knew? I mean, I don't, or I would have said so. All right, so this is happening. There's this auction thing. So yeah, go to it, buy some stuff. I'm just going to have to deal with this. It'll be over soon, I'm hoping. The building stuff will get sold and that'll happen. I'll deal with the city and I'll take care of that and we'll move on, and this will be a thing of the past by the time we're to episode 200. So we're getting in there. This is episode 150, so I'm hoping this can be in the rearview mirror by episode 200, which is going to be right around Christmas time. So that's what I'm really hoping for. I hope that's my Christmas present at this point. This is still a thing. Don't forget, this guy right here is still a thing. The guy in the van. Go to Heinz, like it. They keep posting stuff. I saw something on Instagram. It was a short. I don't know if they're trying to revitalize it. I'm hoping so, because I would really like to go on the road again, get paid. That'd be fun, right? Maybe I'll get some more scenes. Starring me with Stephen He. I'm just saying. Weirder things have happened, ladies and gentlemen. Weirder things have happened. I didn't yawn tonight like I did last night. I told you last night I was just killed. Don't know why. Anyway, tomorrow is Wednesday. I almost thought it was Thursday, but I didn't see the blue garbage cans out. Kind of lost a day. Happens. So tomorrow is Wednesday, dealing with the last day of the pre-auction closing. Auction closes Thursday, piece by piece. So if you see stuff, remember, you make those last-minute bids, buy that stuff you want. I'm going to go through the entire list and take some things down, probably. Be like, oh, screw this. Let's sell that for $25. Fuck that. I don't care if somebody made a bid on it. They're going to eat a dick. I don't care. Sorry. It's not going to happen. I'm not selling one of those guitars for $1. They have at least some intrinsic value, memories. Someone will want it. Anyway, I'm leaving. I'm going to go sit on the couch. We'll go from there. We'll do this again tomorrow, but completely different, or completely the same, or similar, or not. I don't even know anymore. It's just chaos, all of it, everything, every day, every moment, including now. So I'm leaving. Thank you. Have a great night. See you tomorrow. Fade to black. Oh, what did I do to this computer? Why is it doing this? End the stream. Why is it doing this?